Welcome back to the Campaign Corner. This week we're on our third candidate from California, and I'm so happy that we have with us Joshua Scott. He's running for California District 32. How are you doing today, Joshua?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm excited to have you. I'm excited about the possibilities in California. Now, I know your district is considered solid blue, but you did run in 2018 and you had a very successful campaign. And it's my understanding that you're hoping to build upon that momentum and take the seat in 2020.
That's exactly right. We entered at the very last minute just before the primary to provide the people with a choice when we found out the incumbent was running unopposed. And just a few short months, we were able to garner tons of support in the local community. And we wound up having the top performing Republican congressional campaign in LA County. So we're really excited to build on that. We have a lot more time. We've got a team together, and everyone's really excited to see what happens. So we're really looking forward to the March 3rd primary, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a top two primary, correct? The jungle
Correct.
primary. Yeah. Yeah. So how's the feeling overall in California about, the possibility of turning it red? Is it, something that people think is impossible, or are they thinking, yeah, maybe if ever there was a time, the time is now?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. You have a lot of us people that have been involved for the last couple of years that are a little bit disgruntled because we saw such heavy losses last year. But at the same time, you have a lot of people on the right that are motivated by President Trump and his successful policies. You have people like Governor Newsom and Javier Becerra who have implemented some pretty detrimental policies to California, like open borders and gas taxes, which are, having a horrible effect on the state. And, we have homelessness rising. So I think a combination of President Trump's successful policies kind of spreading throughout the nation, the Democrats' policies are hurting the state very badly. And then hopefully if you have voter fraud get addressed in California by entities like Judicial Watch and hopefully some other federal authorities that are getting on top of things, I think we might have just the recipe to change things around here in 2020.
That would just be a dream. Another dream would be to turn Minnesota red. We're actually looking to turn Minnesota red here, this where I live. And, President Trump came within 1.5% here in 2016. So, I'm really excited for the 2020 elections. A lot of things are going to happen that are going to surprise a lot of people, I think. Let's talk about your issues. I know one of your top issues is Israel and the fact that they're a very strong ally, and yet they're being attacked not only over in the Middle East by terrorist organizations, but here at home. So talk to us a little bit about how how that makes you feel. What do you think about the rhetoric against Israel from some of our own people here in America?
Right. So I lived over in Tel Aviv, Israel in 2017. And one of the reasons I was so inspired to go over there and learn things for myself was seeing the horrific anti-Semitic, anti-Israel attacks on college campus back when I was in school. And, when you're over there and you're able to see things for yourself and see that, Arabs and Jews and Christians alike are able to live together harmoniously, and that Israel is the one promoting peace, and you have the mainstream media, cutting up these clips that essentially promote Hamas and Iran propaganda that shows that Israel is, doing these things that's bad for peace, when in reality, they're the ones that are out there protecting their country and trying to promote peace for all different religions and cultures in the region. And, the patriots over there that are trying to implement peace are just like the patriots over here, supporting President Trump and trying to support an America First agenda that get accused of these things falsely. And you have propaganda in the media on both sides that are essentially delegitimizing us on both ends. You have Israel being delegitimized as the supposed terrorist state in the Middle East, and you have supporters of President Trump and a conservative agenda over here in the USA being delegitimized as racist and bigoted. And it's such a horrible thing. And that's why I really enjoy being able to connect the two on a political level here with my work in the USA after having done work in both regions. And I'm really proud to do it because it's so necessary.
It is a really important alliance there. Another one of your top issues is immigration reform. Now, your website mentioned $23 billion a year being spent on illegals in California. Is that the benefits that go to them, or does that include the border security, trying to solve the problem? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that has to do with benefits that go to housing and healthcare. It has to do with dealing with crime and imprisonment. Like as you've seen in California, you have all these representatives voting against Kate's Law, which doesn't allow convicted felons to be deported. So it's really just this backed up system to where we're not being able to take care of our homeless people, our veterans, and reform our education system, build affordable housing. There's so much that we could be doing with this extra capital. As we know, California has one of the largest economies in the world. But if we don't have a secure border and we're providing sanctuary cities for people that are coming across the border illegally, we're never going to be able to help out our people that need it most, that are American citizens here in California.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about District 32. What are some of the things that the voters bring up when you're out speaking to them that are most important to them?
Right, so District 32 is the easternmost part of Los Angeles County. It's the eastern San Gabriel Valley. And, it oftentimes gets forgotten about because it doesn't have the bells and whistles of Beverly Hills and Hollywood. But you do have so many strong conservatives. You have lots of retired law enforcement, veterans, and very hardworking people that are disappointed in the increasing gas taxes, they're disappointed in businesses having to leave the state due to burdensome regulations. And one thing that I was really surprised about when I first started campaigning is that everywhere I went, no matter what culture this person was or age, people were really passionate about the Second Amendment. People that had families, people that were in law enforcement, they all are very concerned about protecting their family. In such an atomized society these days, the one thing that you can trust in protecting your family is yourself. And the local incumbent representative and many others in California have spoken very ill of the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. While it's very necessary that we make sure criminals are kept away from firearms and we enforce those laws, it's horrible to hear these representatives talking about making it harder on law-abiding citizens to protect their families. So that's something that was surprisingly a very huge issue in my 2018 campaign and continued on into this campaign.
That surprises me as well. It's that's very encouraging to hear, though. So another one of your issues is national security, and you do support extreme vetting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The concept of a travel ban and temporarily stopping the incoming of refugees from countries with high amounts of terrorism, that has nothing to do with race, and there's no such thing as the hashtag Muslim ban. We need to have an extreme vetting policy to make sure that anyone coming into our country, whether it's via the southern border or via a refugee policy from the Middle East or someone just immigrating here from wherever, our top priority needs to be keeping Americans safe. Law and order is of the utmost importance. And that's why I think people like me can get elected. And that's why President Trump will get reelected, because that's such a hot button issue here in all facets of the United States.
You mentioned a minute ago about no one being forgotten. And that was, as you know, one of the central things that President Trump campaigned on before he became president in 2016 was, the forgotten men and women will be forgotten no more. And I've mentioned this, I brought this up with a couple other California candidates that we've had on this week. And, is this that some people try, or they think that California is just something to write off because it's so blue and there's so many problems and there's so much corruption with your political leader there. But, there are patriots there like you and the others that love our president, that love our country. And so we can't forget about them. So I'm personally really excited about California. And there is at least 5 seats there that we could flip to take back for the U.S. House for 2020.
No, that's so true. There are districts that we lost, unfortunately, in 2018, and there are some other districts with vulnerable representatives here in Los Angeles County that aren't being talked about as districts that can be flipped. We live in basically the most beautiful area in the country. Los Angeles is incredible. Yet you have representatives like my opponent, Grace Napolitano, Adam Schiff, Ted Lieu, Maxine Waters. There's all these people that have, spoken so horribly of the president, who's really just trying to put the American people first. And they've put this impeachment and Mueller in the Ukraine ahead of taking care of the American people, while their districts are essentially rotting with homelessness and people moving out of the state. And I think, while they're busy, going on TV and bad-mouthing our agenda and conservative policy, we're going to be out in the streets. We're going to be campaigning. We're going to be knocking on doors. We're going to be speaking with voters, saying, "Hey, we support border security and we want to keep you safe. We support your right to bear arms. We support Israel, and we support our president of the United States, Donald Trump." And our campaign slogan is "No apologies." We're going to be doing all of that. with no apologies, because you go on TV and people that support the things I just mentioned get accused of being, racist or whatever, and all of a sudden they want to back off. And I say, no, I don't care what the left is going to attack me with. I don't care what the media says. We're going to support an America First agenda with these policies, and we're going to do it with no apologies, because we know it's for the betterment of this country.
Well, it sounds like you're taking cues from President Trump himself on that, just being bold and out there. How is it going as far as fundraising for your campaign?
It's good. Our bills are paid. It's definitely tough when you're in a deep blue district, but at the same time, we're able to get access to the data that we need. We're able to have a staff that's out there making sure everything's taken care of. I have a handful of volunteers that are out there probably right now in the streets, knocking on doors. I have people that are crunching the data for me, making sure we target all the Republicans to get out the vote for the primary. And then after the primary, hopefully when we make it through, we're going to be targeting all of the independents and moderate Democrats that we know we can flip to get to our side. So, things are looking good for us. Me and my manager were just talking before I came on. There's a lot to be happy about right now, just with the tide of things in the country and locally in the district. I think we have a great possibility here in 2020.
Well, it's so exciting and encouraging to see, your candidacy. You're young, you're energetic and smart. And I really appreciate that you're willing to serve in Congress. Just to run, it can't be easy.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. Every day is a little bit different. Some days everything's awesome and you're smiling and it's so great. And some days you're stressed out. You have this that needs to be taken care of. Someone forgot to do that. So you definitely just have to take it all in stride. It's the long game. You have to, stay healthy. Get a good night's sleep no matter what happened during the day. Don't load up on too much caffeine, and don't let one thing that one person said about you get to you. Don't let one positive thing that one person said about you get to you. Just keep doing what you're supposed to do each day. Keep talking to as many voters as possible, tweeting, posting on social media, sending out your emails, and I think if all those things are touched on a regular basis, regardless of how much money is raised or what anyone in the media is saying about you, I think in 2020 there are a lot of possibilities right now.
I agree. Josh, we're going to keep following your campaign. I appreciate you coming down on today, Joshua, not Josh. And tell us your website so that people know where they can donate to you.
Yes, my website is votejoshuascott.org. That's votejoshuascott.org. You can follow me on Twitter at Joshua Scott, CA32. Same with Instagram and Facebook as well. I look forward to connecting with everyone, both in the district and nationally, because we know that if we're going to take back the House, California's got to be a huge part of it. So we appreciate all the support and help we can get.
Well, good luck to you. And like I said, we'll continue to follow you and we'll keep in touch. Okay, Joshua?
Thank you so much, Sherry. I appreciate you having me on today. Have a great
weekend.
You're
welcome. You have a great weekend as well. Okay, we will be right back with our closing segment here for the Campaign Corner. Stay tuned for more.